All right. Good morning, everyone. Or maybe I should be saying good afternoon since that's what time it is if you're watching this when it's being posted. I hope everyone is being safe and keeping busy. I know I myself just wandered over to the northwest corner of my bedroom, and that was, well, to be honest, it was a little dusty. I haven't been over there in a while. Um, My name is Wes. I am the club coordinator for the Boys and Girls Clubs of Saskatoon at the White Buffalo Youth Lodge, and today we are going to be working on a website called Scratch to make a little project teaching you guys how to use some of the blocks, the motion blocks, and the looks blocks, especially the graphical effects. That's what we're going to be doing today. So to get started, you're going to need to go to a website called Scratch, Scratch.mit.edu. There's going to be a link posted in the comments of this video or in the description or whatever it's supposed to be called. That will take you to a page where you can make an account and join my classroom, the Club Hub online classroom. If you already have a Scratch account, or if you make one a different way, you're not going to be able to join my classroom, which is fine. But that just means you're gonna have to share your creations another way, and you can either do that by in the corner here. You can copy the link. You can embed the Scratch videos. I still haven't tried embedding or Scratch projects. I still haven't tried embedding a Scratch project on Facebook directly, but you can post a link, just copy paste it and post it in the comments of this video when you're done if you want to share it that way. Or you can click here if you are a member of my classroom. You can add it to the studio. Today the studio is going to be names right here. I'm also working on making a Club Hub studio that will be open to the public, and I'll just password protect it and post a password on the Club Hub Facebook page. So if you have an account that's not linked to my Scratch classroom, you can still share with everybody that way, because I know I would love to see what you guys are making, and I'm sure some other folks would too. So anyway, once you have your account, if you need to make that, pause this video, come back. I'll be waiting, but when you're ready, we're going to click up here, the Create tab. Go over here. Now once it loads, so today we're going to be making, normally when I do this in my site, we do our names, but you can do a nickname, you can do your pet's name, just a word. I don't know if this is going to be posted before or after Mother's Day, but you could do maybe a Happy Mother's Day. You could write that out. But what we're going to start with, first we got to get rid of Scratch the cat here. So click on that garbage bin right next to him. And then we're going to choose our backdrop. So in the bottom right hand corner, we're going to click these hills. Whatever you want to go with. Let's see what I might do. That nebula looks nice. Take your time. If you need to pause the video to choose something, come back. Here, I'll do Space City. If you need to pause, if I get too far ahead, go ahead. I'm going to try to go a little bit faster because I'm recording in a different program this time to hopefully make the resolution a little bit better, and so I can record sound as well, because our lesson today was supposed to be using some of the musical instrument blocks, but I realized after I recorded a 30-minute long video, I was not able to record sound through my computer, just through my microphone. So it was a whole lot of nothing. Hopefully I can re-record that for next week. So I have to keep this a little bit shorter because this video is going to be a lot, the resolution's a little bit nicer and it's recording audio, so it's going to be a little bit bigger a file, and I don't want to have it be too big that I can't post it on Facebook. Anyway, I guess I should maybe move on then. We're going to click on choose a sprite right here, blue circle with the white cat and the plus sign. Click on that, and we're going to go to letters. Now you don't have to do letters. This will work if you do a regular sprite, but I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get a B. I'm going to write, I'm going to do a word, and that's supposed to be what we're doing today. But if you want to do something else and just kind of follow along and put in the same scripts, that'll work too. It's just mostly one of those looking pretty, it's more of an art project than a game, really. So once you've got all your letters, you can drag them around the screen, put them in order. I'm going to do mine diagonally. You can do yours however you would like. Alright. You know what, that's a little small. I'm going to go here. So if you click on, make sure when you're trying to edit a sprite, you're clicked on the right one. So right here, I'm clicked on this B, right? And so it's highlighted blue. If I'm clicked on the S is highlighted blue. If I'm clicked on the background, this whole stage, it's highlighted blue. So make sure you're selected the right one. But I'm going to change the size here to 150 on each one, just because I want it to be a little bit bigger. Oops, I grabbed 2 G's and no C. It's not boys, girls, Saskatoon. So I'm going to delete that one. Go back here. Again, if you need more time to grab sprites, if I'm going too fast, just pause this video and you can catch up. Same goes for when we're moving on to our sprites, or our scripts rather. If you need to pause and catch up, go ahead. You can pause the video after I've made the script we're going to be using and then just take a peek. Normally I pace myself kind of based on the kids in the room, but there's no kids here with me, just my cats, so they're not going to be much of a help. Alright, once you've got all your letters, I went with these story time letters. So if you go here in between code and sounds tabs right here, you can click costumes, and then I'm going to click right there, B3. I'm going to do that with all of my sprites. These are the only sprites that have, the only letters that have different costumes. But most of the sprites, that like the cats, the dogs, the animals, the people, they have different costumes so that you can animate them, you can make them move around and that sort of thing. Oh, you know what, maybe I want to choose a different background too, because that's kind of hard to see. Do the nice dark one. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, so once you've got all that done, and your letters are in order, they're the size you want and the spot you want, you're going to want to go here to events. It's the yellow circle. We're going to grab when green flag clicked, drag it over into your blank white workspace square. It is so these round shaped blocks with the round tops, they are the beginning of your script. They're the one that makes it start, kind of like the beginning of a sentence. The ones that kind of look like baseball caps. We're going to need to grab those, and then we're going to go up to motion. So this top blue one, we're going to grab right here, point in direction 90. Put that, connect it, snap it on right under when green flag clicked. Take your time, find it, drag it over. Then we're going to jump over to looks. It's the second circle down, purple color. We're going to grab set size to 100% and drag that over, but because I changed my size to 150, I'm going to have to click in that circle and change it to 150%. So now if I click the green flag, it'll change. It'll be 150%. If I left it at 100, if I click the green flag to start, it would change it to just 100. Alright. The next thing we're going to need should be at the very bottom. You might have to scroll down a little bit depending on how big your monitor is. We need clear graphic effects. So grab that, drag it over, and put it right underneath set size to 150%, or 100% or whatever you have it set as. And then we're done the first script for now. What I'm going to get you guys to do, instead of recreating this in every single letter or every single sprite, click the very top, drag it over, and place it on each script. You'll know it's in the right place because when you hover over them, the letters will just shake a little bit. And then when you click over, you'll see all your scripts are now on all of your sprites. So what we need to do to finish these, go to your first sprite, up to the top again, top circle. We're going to click motion again, and we're going to go down, kind of in the middle, where it says go to X, and then there's a number, Y, and then there's a number, and you hit the white circle. Your numbers will be different than mine, don't worry about it. You're going to grab that, put it right underneath the bottom one. The reason we're doing this separately for each sprite is because it automatically sets those numbers to the spot that your sprite is on. So if we dragged it over and we hit the green flag, so like here. Now if I hit the green flag, instead of the numbers going back to the spot they're supposed to, if they're all moved around, my B and my G go to the same spot. I want to keep them separate so we can see them. So you're going to click on each sprite individually, grab the go to XY with the numbers, and just connect it on the bottom there. The reason we're doing this for each one is because we're going to be moving these sprites and these letters all around today. We're going to be making them change colors. We're going to be making them change size, spin around, and we want them to go back to normal when we're done. So one, you can tell what the heck your word says, and two, so it's not just a big jumbled mess when other people are looking at it. So anyway, let's go back to our first letter here. And oh, my phone's dead, and that's got my lesson on it, so I'll have to kind of wing it here. Okay, we're going to go to events, and we're going to grab, there's two ways you can do this. If you want, you can either grab when space key pressed or when this sprite clicked. The difference is going to be, if you do when space key pressed, everything you want to happen is going to happen at the same time. If you do when this sprite clicked, you can kind of change it one at a time. So like if you want your B to do something and then I want my C to do something, they can happen at different times. You can do both. Like you can, here's what I'll do actually. So I'm going to grab when space key pressed. I'm going to go to control, and we're going to grab this forever block. Kind of looks like an alligator's mouth. But don't grab repeat 10 or if blank then, because they're the same shape, but they're different functions. Basically what's going to happen is everything that's inside of this after I hit space key is going to happen forever until I hit the stop sign at the top there. If I get repeat 10, then it's only going to happen 10 times, or you can change it to 100 or to 2, whatever you'd like, but we need forever because what we're going to do is go up to looks now after you've connected those two blocks, and we're going to grab change color effect by 25. So what happens basically, like if we didn't have this forever and we just attached change color effect by 25 when space key pressed, every time I hit space key my letter changes, and again if I hit the green flag it goes back to the color it was when we started. So there we go, but my finger is getting a little bit sore, so I'm going to grab this forever block. I'm going to put it right underneath when space key pressed so that change color effect by 25 is in the middle. Actually, I'm going to change 25 to 10 just so I can see a few more colors. So now it kind of looks like a dinosaur wearing a baseball cap sticking out his tongue. You're going to want to make sure that this color effect is in the middle. So if you set it up like this where forever's on the bottom and you try to grab color effect, when you grab a block, it moves everything that's attached underneath it. So if you put it in the wrong spot, you're going to need to grab forever, whatever's on the bottom, and move it up to the top, just like that. If you grab too many blocks, you mess up, you can just click them and drag them back over to your selection of blocks here on the side, or you can right click and delete. Deleting the block, that way you can just delete one. So if I want to get rid of something that's in the middle, I can do that without having to pull apart my whole script. But if you have a whole bunch of stuff that you don't need, you can just click it, drag it, drop it over there. So now that we've done that, I hit space key and the B just changes forever. But all these guys look just so boring. So we're going to drag it from the top into each letter individually, one at a time. Now that we've done that, if you hit space key again, all the letters should be changing. Alright. And if you want to, like right now they're all changing, they're the same color. What you can do is just change the color effect. So like I'll do change color effect by 15 for the G. For the C, I'll do change color effect by -10 or -10. And for the S, I'll do change color effect by, let's say, 9. There you go. Okay, so now they're all changing colors. If you want them to stop, hit your green flag and go back to normal. Like I said before, if you don't want them all to do the same thing, you can either change it so like B is up arrow, or you know, it would make the most sense if you changed B to B, and G to G. Then when I hit B, when I hit G, they start doing their action instead of having everything happen all at once. That's up to you. You can do it however you would like. So now we've got all these colors there going, doing their rainbow thing. Let's go back to B, or your first sprite, your first letter, and let's go when this sprite clicked. So it's in the events tab, yellow one, third block down, grab it, drop it right there, and we're gonna go to looks, click on that, and if you go again, grab that change color effect by 25 block, plug it in there, except this time we're gonna click on the word color, and we've got this big huge drop down menu here, right? So we can pick a different effect. Let's go with pixelate. So now if I click my letter B, it gets all pixelated there, like some pixel art. So, and the more I do it, the more distorted I get, until eventually I can't even really see it. So if I want it to go back to normal, hit a green flag. You know what? I want that to happen forever, but I'm worried if I do, it's just gonna end up looking like a orange square or disappear entirely. So what we're gonna do next is go to the green circle, third from the bottom, labeled operators. So what our operators do is they give us a little bit more control over these blocks. Like you can only select one number, one value, but if you go like this, we're going to grab pick random 1 to 10, drag it over and put it in the circle where the 25 is, or whatever number you have yours set to of the pixelate block. But if you see when I drag it over there, the left edge makes the circle highlighted yellow, or white rather. So I'm going to drag it over, highlight the circle, and then that block plugs in right inside of my change effect block. So I'm going to change this now, change that 1 to -10. Oops, -10. So now, if I click my letter B, oops, I got to turn it on forever. Before you do anything else, we're going to go over to control the orange circle right in the middle, and we're going to grab another forever block, put it right underneath when this sprite clicked, so that it's now it looks like a T-Rex wearing a baseball hat and a really long tongue. So now if I click my letter B, it's gonna just it'll change back and forth between pixelated, and hopefully it'll go back to normal. Hopefully. A little bit, there we go. Okay, and then if I hit my B, I hit my G, my space bar, all my letters are dancing. There we go. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing today. You can experiment around with your own. Like I'm going to drag, click and drag the top block here when this sprite clicked. Drag it over to each letter, to each sprite, and let's make them all do something different. So my letter G, I'm going to change this pixelate effect to, oh, why don't we do the whirl for this one? So if I click on my letter G, whoa, that's trippy. It's just kind of freaking out there. So this one, we can get rid of this one here if you want. If you want to leave it 25, see, it's going to get real whirly there. I want it to happen quite so fast, so I'm going to change that to 10. All right. Now for our letter C, or your third sprite, let's go over here. Fish eye. Let's do ghost for our C. So now if we click on our C, it's going to flicker, kind of like a neon light. See that? It'll get brighter and darker. If you have it just set to 25, it's slowly going to fade out. So whatever number you have it set as, it just means how fast it's going to do that. But the ghost effect basically just makes something fade away until it disappears. I'm going to keep it as -10 to 10 because I like that flickering that it does. Then let's go the S. We're gonna, let's have it, can do mosaic if you want, and it kind of does that. It'll turn into a whole bunch of itself. That's kind of interesting, except it doesn't tend to get too much smaller. Then why don't we do some moving around now? So again, if you want, you can pause this video, you can go play around with, if you have a really long word, like if you wrote, I don't know, Happy Mother's Day or something like that, you can go change all your letters, do what you want them to do, and come back. After that, we are going to start making these guys move around some. So why don't we go, let's click the G. We're going to have the G, click on motion. So right at the top, we click on motion, the top blue circle. We're going to grab turn clockwise 15 degrees. There's a right arrow and a left arrow, circle with the degrees. So I'm going to click that. This one whirls. So we're going to click it, have it whirl. Oh, look at that. All right. Start pixelating that. All right. Oh, look at the S's, holy cow. Alright, so that's spinning. It's rotating. If you do it the other direction, it'll spin the other way. But you can only have it one at a time. If you put both in and they're the same, it's just going to cancel. They just cancel each other out, right? So let's get rid of that one. Oops, I just duplicated it. Alright. Why don't we have our B here? Let's click on the B, and I want it to bounce around. So we're going to go back to motion, and we're going to have it go change X by 10. So in forever here, change X by 10. And we're going to scroll down a little bit, grab this block here that says if on edge bounce. So now when we click on it, it's going to bounce. Oh, excuse me. So let's get rid of change. Don't grab change X by 10. Get rid of that block. Delete it or drag it over. What we need is move 10 steps. It's the very top block. We're going to grab move 10 steps, put it on top. Now when we click our letter B, it's going to bounce back and forth. But when it bounces, it flips upside down. It's kind of hard to tell because it's all pixelated. I don't want that to happen. So what I'm going to do is scroll down here. The last block before these blue ovals here says set rotation style. So you can have it rotate where it's left to right, or in this case like top to bottom. Or we can have it rotate all around, which is going to do essentially the same thing. and because of the shape of this letter, but I don't want it to rotate at all, so I'm going to click don't rotate. Then there you go. Click my green flag, and it stays just like that. Alright, now why don't we go to our flickering C. Let's go here and scroll up. I'm going to grab glide 1 second to random position. You can either glide to another letter, you can glide to your cursor, your mouse pointer. I want to glide to a random position. I'm going to put that in forever. So when I click on my letter C, it's just going to go all over the place completely randomly. When it gets to one place, it starts gliding to another. Alright. And then our S, I don't know, that mosaic, if we do anything, we're not even going to notice. So why don't we start, we'll call it there. Go ahead, experiment with any of these movement blocks you'd like. Look around. There's some cool sounds you can play with too. You can either record your own sounds. The one thing I would recommend is that if you're using the sounds, you don't put them in forever, because that can get a little bit really annoying, just depending on how loud you got your speakers. There's also some extensions here we're going to be playing around with in the future, but there's music here, so if you want to make your sprites make some noise when you click on them, you can play with them. These work just the same as our color effects did, or our graphical effects rather. Or if you click here, there's all kinds of sounds you can use. We're going to have another lesson coming up where we make kind of like a band setup, and you can either play music with your keyboard or by clicking on your screen. I might re-record that one for next week, or we might do something else. But anyway, once you're done, all of your stuff there, and you've got everything happening the way you want it, we're gonna click here. Make sure you click Save Now. So you save your project, and then up here in the top, click on that, and we're gonna give it a name. So BGCS. That's what I'm going to call this one, and then you want to click this orange share button. If you want other people to see what you've made, you got to share it. So click share, and there you go. So my stuff's still freaking out. So if I click this green flag, it'll go back to normal. You can tell people the instructions here. Hit spacebar. I'll do that after. You can type the instructions in there, any notes you want to include, and please, if you're a member of the Club Hub Classroom on Scratch, please add it to the name Studio. Hit OK. If you want to post what you've made on Facebook, you can click Copy Link. Just click right there, and you can copy the link, paste it in the comments. Yeah, and I've got some more projects coming up. They're a little bit harder ones, so I might maybe start posting these a couple times a week. Ones that are a little bit easier, so younger guys can give it a try. Oops, I didn't save it. And one that is a little bit harder. I've recorded a snake game lesson, Pong, Brick Breaker, and of course there's that one with the instruments that we're going to be making later on. So there's some more fun stuff coming up. I hope you guys share what you've made. I'd really like to take a look, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks. Have a good day. Bye.